Okay, so good evening, one and all. This is Joey from Upgrad. I'm a part of the student success team here and also a student mentor currently for the data science batch for the December batch. And I have Rajan, who is will be taking us through the Python crash course session one. And let me just brief you about Rajan's profile. He has worked with various clients and has over 9+ years of work experience as a professional developer and or a Microsoft certified trainer. And he has got worked with various clients specifically in corporate trainings on various technologies such as Python, Android, Hadoop, Advanced Java, MSNet, PHP. So this session would start from the basics of Python, and he will be taking you through it. So just let's wait for another 2-3 minutes and then we'll start. So this chat window that we have, I would request any of your learners, in case if you all do have any questions, to post it in the Q&A section of the window, and Rajan could address those questions. So if anyone has any questions with regards to the current session, please do post it on the Q&A section. So let's wait for 2 minutes, and yes, you're all muted by default, Mandar. You won't be able to speak. You all can obviously put in your questions in the Q&A section. Binoy, the session will be recorded, and this recording will be shared post the session. So all our live sessions here would be recorded, and it will be immediately sent post the session completes. Yeah. Okay, so you all are unable to see the chats is because select all panelists and attendees if you all are posting anything on the chat window, rather than posting all panelists so that everyone can see what is being typed. So Rajan, I think we should start. Let's start the session so that we don't cross the time. Over to Rajan.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Joey. Thank you for the lovely introduction. Uh, well, hello, everyone. A very good evening to all of you guys. First of all, I welcome all of you in this Python crash course. I hope you all are able to hear me loud and clear. Yeah. So guys, once again, let me give you the introduction, guys. So this is a Python crash course, and this is day one, live session one, and I'll be basically telling you about the fundamentals of Python. And my name is Rajan Chetri, right? So I'll be instructor for this Python crash course. And I hope, like my past experiences, this session will go, as expected, and that is excellent. So guys, before I proceed further, uh, I want to establish a good connect with all of you guys, and I need to, basically do a small audience analysis just to keep the content relevant. We have various audience from here, from various domains and backgrounds. And this Python crash course basically emphasizes most on the learners who are having any sort of non-tech background or non-programming background. So this is basically used to give, or you can say, a jump start to specifically those learners. So I would like to ask all of you guys requesting to share your experiences. Specifically, I'm asking the learners who are from any background which doesn't involves programming, or you can also share your profile if it involves programming. So basically, the point to you can say stress here is, do we have any programming background or programming experience or not, so that I can design or deliver the content accordingly, guys. So that basically helps me in delivering the in-depth content to all of you guys. So a small audience analysis has started, guys. Requesting all of you to please respond to me. Okay. Okay. Kasinath, got it. Got it. Got it. Okay. Okay. Got it. Got it. Okay. Got it. Going good. Going good. Going good. Okay. Going good. Okay. Okay. Thank you for letting me know, guys. Okay. Great. Great. Okay. Great. Fine. Okay, Arvind. Glad to know that. Okay. Going good. So I think this gives me a fair idea about exactly, like the audience analysis has been done, guys. And I saw that most of the learners are from tech background, and but many are from non-tech background as well. And I observed that many of the learners are here from non-Python background as well. So, guys, I want to request all of you guys. So basically, the learners who are having no or zero or less programming experience, I would like to ask you to please follow the sequence, right? So in today's session, I want you to observe the sequence of execution, how we are executing the Python session, right? So basically, how we are starting like in the middle and at the end. So basically, specifically to the non-programming background guys, observe the sequence what we are following, right? This is important for you, right? The path. Great, Karthik. And to the learners who are having some sort of programming background, or a very good, I can see there are many good profiles available here. So if you have any programming experience, whether it is JavaScript, C++, so you will be easily able to take up with this Python crash course, and Python will be uh, easy for you. So the learners who are having programming experience, you need to learn the syntax in most cases. So specifically in day one, you are just observing the syntax part here. But to the learners who are having non-programming background, so will lay a strong foundation here. Yeah. Apart from that, I'll be helping you with many things, guys. And please, all of you, requesting you to please learn with a cause here. Basically, the strategy is to learn with a reason, right? So basically, it's not that if I'm telling you something that is okay, that is good. No, you need to observe exactly why it is good. Okay. Okay. So let's get started, guys. I'm very excited, and I have got an opportunity to to be part of this beautiful platform, and apart from that, to be part of this beautiful course. And I hope I'll be able to mark a good signature here. Let's get started, guys. Okay. Okay, so basically what we're talking about in this class, so basically I will be taking you through with the Python, so like the Python overview, exactly what it is, right? Apart from that, we'll be talking about the environment setup. It basically means that how you can install Python, from where you will get it, and how to get started with the programming stuff. And in the third case, we'll be starting with the fundamentals of programming. And in this aspect, I'll be telling you about exactly how to do the basic codes in Python, and we'll be doing lots of exercises. So yes, and apart from that, as I can see that some of the questions are coming, so I would like to ask the learners here to like, okay, fine. So I'll be giving you some final 30 minutes or final 20 minutes for the Q&A. If it is very important, if something, some step is not clear to you, you can ask me in the middle. But it will be helpful for me to keep the session smooth, to keep the delivery smooth, if we can do the Q&A at the end of the session, right? So I hope this is understood by all the learners. Yes, Shubham. Okay, great. Thank you, everyone. So yeah, so let's get started, guys. So first of all, we're starting with something called Python, guys. So in case if you are starting with Python for the first time, I would like to tell you that Python is a programming language. Now, basically, what a programming language is? A programming language is basically a language which you use to provide or give instructions to the machines, right? So machines do work for us. So how we communicate, how our user communicates with the machine by writing some instructions, by giving some instructions. So that communication language between human and machines, basically, you can say that is a programming language. Now, programming languages are of there are many there are many programming languages which are available in the market. Python is one of them. So yeah, so Python is one of them, guys. Okay. So as you can see now, the screen has been updated. Yeah. So Python is a programming language, guys. And when we talk about programming language, it has got many features with it, right? So this might sound technical to you, but Python is interpreted, Python is interactive, Python is object-oriented programming language. So what does it mean basically? It means that Python has got almost, you can say, all the features which are required for developing applications which can solve the real world challenges, right? So if I give you the summary, Python has got all the features which provides a programmer or a developer the required tools, the required concepts, which enables a developer to write applications or develop applications which can solve the real world challenges, right? So when we talk about real world challenges, it can be anything. So for example, let's say banking, telecom, insurance. So n number of sectors are are there. Okay, so these are the features, right? Interpreted, interactive, and object oriented. So right now, I'm not going much into detail. I just want to tell you that what these things are, right? At the fundamental level. Okay. Now, apart from that, how Python looks like, first of all, right? So I have prepared a basic, you can see my screen here. Uh, as of now, you can see a screen, it has been updated, and there is a print here. You can see that it says hello world. So what does it means? It basically prints a message, right? The objective here is not to teach you Python. Yes, that is true. Right now, the objective is not to teach you Python. The objective here is to create a picture of Python in your minds, right? So in case if you are a new learner and you don't know exactly how Python looks like, so basically you can see the instruction here. This is how Python looks like, right? So this is the instruction which is written in Python. So guys, the reason behind showing you this this screen, this code, and this output is to create a picture in your mind. So it is like a visualization based learning, right? So it is a visualization based learning, and I want you to create a picture in the mind exactly when we talking about Python. So this is how Python looks like. Apart from that, to the other programmers who are already into programming, you can see you can see the beauty of Python. It doesn't require any stub or the structure as we require in other programming languages such as C sharp or let's say uh, Java. So where we are supposed to create a class or a polystatic void main something. So it doesn't require that much stuff. So it is as easy as like just printing a message. Now, one more fact that I would like to present about Python programming language is that Python is the easiest programming language available that any non-tech learner can start with, right? So if you are a non-tech person and you're starting with Python, I think this is the best thing you can do because if 5 is the highest difficulty level, Python has got 1, right? So on a scale of 1 2 3 4 5, 5 being the highest. The difficulty level of learning Python is only 1, right? So this is what Python is, right? So it's very easy to get started. So in case if you have any, you can say if you have any question or doubt in your mind that will you be able to do it or not, I think uh, there is no easy programming language available except Python, right? Okay, so I hope the picture of the Python is clear in the learner's mind how Python looks like, and in case if I require you to do coding, I will be asking you to do the coding, but not now, right? Not now. Okay, fine. Okay, now this is really interesting. Basically, features of Python. So I'll not call it features of Python. I'll call it the reasons why the Python is driving crazy, right? Why the people are choosing Python over other programming languages. But I would like to point here that Python is among the many popular programming languages. It is not that Python is supreme or Java is supreme. Every programming language has its pros and cons, right? We are learning one of the powerful programming languages available on Earth. So what are the reasons why Python is very popular? So the very first reason here I would like to mention to you, right? So here I'm convincing you guys that why you need to master Python or why you need to learn Python. So the very first point is multi-purpose, right? What do you mean by multi-purpose? So it means that if you are a Python programmer, you can use the Python programming language for developing applications for various platforms. So what does it mean basically? So it means, let's say, if you want to develop a Windows applications, you can use Python for that. You have libraries for developing Windows or graphical applications. Or let's say if you're interested in, let's say, developing websites. So you do have the libraries in Python which are available with you so that you can develop websites in Python. So that is basically what multi-purpose means, right? So if I give you other example, let's say if we take example of other programming language such as, let's say, PHP. So PHP is not multi-purpose, right? So basically we use it for only web development. So that is a specific task or specific domain technology, right? So web development, PHP, right? So but Python is multi-purpose. Apart from that, if we talk about the second feature here, and that is object oriented, right? Now, object oriented is a feature in any programming language, right? It's a common feature, right? So if any programming language says that that particular programming language has got this feature, this basically means that that programming language is capable of representing the real world entities, right? What do you mean by real world entities or real world challenges? I would say here it means that whatever real time or real world entities are there. For example, let's say there is a bank and there is a manager, and there are certain clerks which are working under the manager, and these are certain actions which needs to be done by particular role or profile. So basically, this real life scenario with the specific challenges or roles or actions or activities can be coded, right? Can be, I said, coded. So when I say anything real can be coded, so for coding anything real, you need certain tools, certain keywords, certain concepts, right? So all that uh, tools, concepts, and keywords are within this bag called object oriented. Now let's learn this another way, right? So if any programming language, let's say, is not object oriented, so basically what it means that that particular programmer who works with with a non object oriented language, he'll be finding it very difficult to represent the real life scenarios, right? Because everything is what applications are doing or softwares are doing nowadays. Basically they are solving the real world challenges, behaving like real world entities. Now the third is interpreted. Now this point I would like to discuss with all of you. Interpreted. So most of you know that the programmers, the people who are already having experience, they know that what interpretation means. But here I would like to tell you that Python is a versatile language. It is interpreted as well as compiled, right? So there are two kind of executions, through which the language executes, right? So it is a language can be interpreted or compiled. But here I'm saying Python is versatile. It is both interpreted and compiled, right? And the fourth point is focuses on readability and productivity, right? So what does it means basically? So I would like to take you through a small demonstration here to explain you what does focuses on readability and productivity means. And this is a training for all the learners here. Please listen to me carefully. Okay, this is a basic training for all of the learners here. Okay, so if we it doesn't matters whether you know this programming language or not, but I want you to focus on certain aspects here. Okay. Okay, so this is a programming language that I'm writing here, and this programming language is Java, let's say. Okay, this is Java. As of now, I don't require you to know Java or what Java is, right? I don't want you to go through this stuff, but I would like to bring your attention to something called brackets here, right? Brackets. Now, basically, this bracket basically defines the scope of a particular block, right? So if I say this is a function, so this is a block of that function, right? So if I'm saying this is a function, so it means this is a block of that function. And this opening bracket and this closing bracket is a block of class. So yes, so what I want you to understand is that there are blocks which defines the boundaries of particular sections, right? So this is function block, this is another function block, and this is a class block. Now, how we do the similar thing in Python, right? So let's do this here. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. So okay. So in Python, so if I show you the equivalent comparison of the following code in Python, guys, right? Okay. So if I show you the equivalent representation of the code which has been done in Java here in Python, I want you to observe the differences here, everyone, right? So please observe the differences right now. Okay, to all the non-tech learners, I want you to observe how we define the blocks, okay? And the other programmers can figure out it easily. So it's like class car, right? Look at this. Okay, def to something, print hi, let's say. So in this, okay, and this is main, let's say. So this is okay, print main. So basically, I have not printed any message, but still, okay. Now, first of all, if you observe here, everyone, right? So this is how we print actually, right? So just making it comfortable. Main. Okay. Okay, everyone. So please observe that. Okay, observe. In Python, we don't have curly braces. Can you observe, everyone? Right. So if you're doing it for the first time, you can see that in Java we have curly braces, which we use to represent the blocks, the body of the code section. Right. So here is the block, and here is the block which starts and close here. This block starts here and close here, and this is the global block, you can say, right? But in Python, I want you to observe that we don't have blocks here, right? So how do we specify that something is contained within something? So, and that specification is done using these indents, right? You can see this gap from the left, right? So this is called indent, right? So basically an indent is a representation, right? This indent is a representation, or it's implementation of defining a nesting, right? It's a process of defining that this particular section is within that particular section. So there is one indent here. This means that whatever this section is inside this one. You can see that there are two indents here. Can you observe? One, two, one, two. So there are two indents here. So when I say indents, so you can call it tab as well, right? So in layman's language, you can call it tab, right? So there are two tabs here. So basically this specifies that this particular statement is within this particular function, and this function is within this particular function, right? So so guys, I am not teaching you any coding. I just want to show you exactly how we specify the nestings, right? How we specify who is contained within whom, right? And that is through tabs. So here I'm not telling you what a class is, I'm not telling you what a function is, I'm not telling you how to call these functions and everything. No, it's just how to read the code, right? And who is within whom. I'll do another demonstration for all of you guys, a small demonstration, and this will help you once again, right? So it's like A, B, okay, C, D, E, F. Okay. So guys, let's do a small activity here, and I'm very much sure that the programmer learners are already okay with the concept. But this question is specifically to the non-tech people here. So can you tell me the direct childs of the B, alphabet B? Who are the direct childs of alphabet B? Okay. So I hope the non-tech learners are answering me in most cases. Beautiful. Who are the childs of A, everyone? Who is the child of A, or who is within A? A direct child, if you call it. If we call, yeah, we can call it direct child or nested child also. That is also possible. So in some cases, I'm getting B, but E as well, right? Because they're following the same indent. The direct childs of A is B and A, right? Why B and E? Because both B and E are following the same indent. Can you see that gap? Right? And F is not a child of A, right? So it's not under the block of A. So this is the you can call them roots, right? So it's like they are roots. So that was a small demonstration from my side, guys, on understanding how we define the blocks. Yeah, Sumit, we can call that. So basically, because we don't have the curly brackets in Python, so it basically enhances the code readability, right? And thereby it increases the productivity. So it's like that. So I hope this fourth point is understood by all of you guys. Now, if I talk about the fifth part here, batteries included. So this is a fancy term I've used here. Batteries is not a technical keyword, or it's not a technical vocabulary. It's just a you pump up term which I've used here. So batteries basically means the libraries, right? Right. So batteries means libraries. So what is a library? Library is you can say it's a repository of built-in codes, right? You can call it. It's a repository of built-in codes or pre-coded, you can say files, which provides you the functionality, right? And there are more than 98,524 uh, modules, right? So in Python, the built-in codes or predefined codes or libraries are called modules, right? So there are many modules, thousands of modules are available in Python. So these modules belongs to various categories. If you want to do web development, security, or Windows development, machine learning, or if you want to go with, let's say, any data analysis, if you want to go with some basic programming or mathematical functions, astronomical functions. So you just so I think for most of the interest, the libraries are available. And apart from that, the final point, sorry, the second last point is interactive shell, right? So what do you mean by interactive shell? I would like to show you interactive shell. As I told you, I believe in visualization based learning. Means if we see it, we learn it better. So basically, I would like to show you this terminal here. You can see that there is a terminal, there is a three arrows, you can see that, and there is a cursor which is waiting. So this is the Python shell, we call it Python shell, right? So basically, what is this shell? This shell basically allows you to write your code and see the output directly without following any procedure of writing the code, saving the file, compiling somewhere, and executing somewhere. So you don't have to go through many steps to execute a demonstration. Anirban, no, packages are different things. So let's say if I hello Python. So if you want to print a message in Python, so there's a function called print in Python, and you can see here, right? Hello Python. So this is how it works like. Let's do it one more time. Print. This is amazing, right? Okay. So you can see that it is, this is an interactive shell, right? So you can see that I can interact with the Python environment through this window, right? So this window allows me to interact with the Python engine or Python environment. Yes, Gaurav, definitely. I will be, uh, responding to all of your questions, guys. So yes, so guys, this shell is a part of your training, guys, and right now, basically, everything is popping out from random places, but there is a sequential execution of how to get all these windows in my next topic, that is environment setup. So I'll be sharing everything with all of you guys, and yes, I can see that. There are a lot of questions which are coming, so I'm really excited to answer all those questions. Just allow me some we can say 40 to 50 minutes or so. I will definitely help you with that. Okay, so this is not getting shared. Okay, now the final point is cross platform. Now what is a cross platform? Oops. Okay, so what is cross-platform? Cross-platform basically means that it can run on multiple operating systems, right? So if you, yeah, and so so if you write the applications, if you develop the applications in Python, so you can run that application on various popular operating systems such as Macintosh or Linux distributions or Windows versions, right? So, but this is not the only case where we see that this is a good benefit. But if you think in terms of business perspective also, so let's say if there is if there is a product-based company who wants to develop a product and they want that product to be sold to every other person, no matter which OS he's using. So in that case, the company wants to choose a language which can run on many operating systems, and that is you know Python has got that features, right? So this is cross platform. So these are some of the reasons that we learned that why Python is very popular. So multi-purpose, object-oriented, interpreted, focus on readability, batteries included, interactive shell, and cross platform. A lot of things to be convinced. Okay, now guys, this slide is for the learners here, right? So this slide is for the learners. I want you to see that for various domains, there are what are the modules which are available, right? What are the technologies in Python which are available for various purposes? For example, let's say if the learner is interested in web development, he wants to develop a website, let's say. So after learning the basic Python, which module you can say or which library in Python he has to learn. So if you are interested in web development, you can learn the Django, right? After learning the basic Python. You can go for Django, you can go for Pyramid, Bottle, Tornado, Flask, or Web2Py. What are these? These are basically the frameworks which are available and written in Python for web development. Likewise, similarly, there are various other domains you can see here. And on the right side, whatever fancy names, fancy titles you are seeing, basically are the libraries, or you can say the modules, which are available in Python to go with that particular domain. So guys, I give you just 5 seconds or so, or 10 seconds, right? Let's go through the fancy terms. It is just a awareness program, guys. So just awareness, right? So it's awareness only. Okay. So I think the learners have gone through the content here, everyone. So I hope this gives you a good understanding of exactly. There are many popular modules available for various domains, right? Okay. So who uses Python? This slide is one of my favorite, and here Mozilla, Google, Yahoo, IBM, NASA, and the Onion. These are some of the popular brands who uses Python for their various challenges solving and everything, right? So Yeah, Pinterest as well. Instagram is also there in Python. Yeah, yeah, Miss. Thank you, Mr. Anas. Okay, beautiful. Yeah, practical lab. So let's do the practical lab, guys. And in this practical lab, basically, I'll be taking you through various activities that you can do, and let's see how it goes. Like, right? So basically, what we are talking about right now, we are talking about environment setup, right? Okay. So here we are talking about environment setup. So here there's an assumption that uh, if there is a learner who is beginning the Python for the first time, exactly how to get started with Python. So let's get started, guys, and let's talk about how to install the required softwares and how to operate all those softwares, right? Okay, so python.org and anaconda.com, right? Okay, okay, standard Python, and this one is Python distribution. Now, guys, here I would like to take you through these two websites first of all, and we'll be talking about exactly what is the difference in these two things, right? Okay, so the very first website is python.org. Okay, so here this is the you can say the main website of Python, right, which is endorsing the Python project. And here, if you go to downloads, according to the operating system, we can download the Python version. So right now it is 3.8, right? Oh my God. So I worked with 3.7. Okay. So 3.8 is already there. And this is a basic standard Python, guys. So what do you mean by basic standard Python version? It means that it has got the basic libraries of Python, right? Basic libraries of Python. So let's say if the learners who have joined me today are obviously you will be going with machine learning or data science projects and many things. So you require additional libraries for performing your various activities. For example, let's say pandas, right? So pandas is one of the library which we use for data analysis, right? So it is not there in this version. If you want to do the numerical calculations, so for that we require NumPy, right? So NumPy is one of the module. It is not there in this standard Python. So once we download this standard Python, what we have to do, we have to manually install every other library which we generally use generally or in common, right? So this is just a vanilla version of Python, you can call it, right? So it's just a plain basic version. Now, if we go to this website here, anaconda.com, now this is called Python distribution, right? So what is a distribution? So in order to explain you what is a distribution, I would like to take you to the download section here, which is on the top right corner. So here I'm clicking on download. And so here it says Anaconda distribution, guys. So on the very right side, I would like to bring your focus to this section here. This is just a gist of the libraries which is pre-installed in Anaconda. So Anaconda is what? Anaconda is a package, right, which contains hundreds of libraries uh, pre-installed, right? And it also contains many beautiful tools that we can use for Python development, right? So for example, Jupyter is a very beautiful web-based tools which we use for coding Python or for writing the Python instructions. Apart from that, we have Spider is for is also a graphical application that we use for writing the codes in Python and see the outputs kind of thing. Apart from that, there are many libraries which you can see here, right? So when you install a Python distribution, right? So when you install a Python distribution, so you get hundreds of libraries pre-installed, and apart from that, you also get some development tools as well, right? So it is a good jump start to go with. when you want to avoid, or hustle, when you want to avoid all those hustles of manual installation, troubleshooting, or configuration of things, right? It's just go with it. So here you can see Windows, Mac, and Linux platform choices here, and you can Python version. Recommended version is Python 3.7, right? So that is the recommended version. So I hope the learners will be able to do this and download it. Now, what I've done here, I have already downloaded basic Python. You can see here. These two are the basic Pythons which I have available with me, and these are the Anaconda setups that I've already downloaded for all of you guys. So, what is the next thing, guys? You are not supposed to download this part, right? So, like in the beginning, let's say, just to avoid all those troubleshooting or installation issues. So, I would suggest that if you can go with Anaconda, so that will smooth your learning experience. Later you can learn how to install the libraries manually, and actually you have to learn it actually, right? So basically in production environments we don't get Anaconda thing, right? In many cases. So in many cases, like in my life, it is like most of the times it was like black and white only, always on terminal kind of thing. So you don't get that GUI access, right? But you will learn later. Okay, so this is Anaconda setup that you have to download from anaconda.org or .com, sorry. And simply double click on it, and it will show you the installation instructions. And guys, this part is not complicated, guys. Once you see the dialog for this is the dialog here, you have to click on the next, 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 and next, right? So just follow the mantra of clicking the next button, and wherever you see that I accept checkbox, just click it or hit it, right? So assuming that the learners will be able to install Anaconda this way. So guys, can I ask the learners, right? So can you can I assume that you'll be able to download Anaconda and install it, guys? Okay, thank you, Karan. Thank you, Anas. Thank you, Anshuman, and everyone. Great, great, great. Okay, great, excellent. Okay, so here I'm closing this uh, window here. Yeah, I'm going to yeah, Aman Kumar, we don't need that environment path actually, so not required. Yeah, Nirban, I'm going to show you. Just give me a moment. So now, once you have Anaconda installed in your system, right? So here you're supposed to look for the Anaconda Navigator, right? So this is the basically the startup application, right? So once you install Anaconda distribution in your system, in your programs menu, you will see Anaconda Navigator, right? So you're supposed to click on this. Once you click on this, I've already actually prepared. This is how the Anaconda Navigator looks like, everyone, right? So this is what you get after installing Anaconda, right? And apart from that, you can see there are various tools which are available here, which you can use for various purposes. And we'll be talking about one other tool, right? And if we go on the left side, environments here, and this is just for visiting purpose actually for the new learners. Uh, yeah, so here you can scroll down, and you can see the list of installed libraries in your system, right? So you can see there are hundreds of libraries which are installed here. Okay, so don't worry, everyone, right? So this, okay, Rudraswamy, definitely that is a part of my program, and Asha, don't worry. In my upcoming sessions, actually, what I can see that lots of the questions which are being asked to me are a part of my program, actually, right? So not today, but in my upcoming sessions, or in some of the questions will be answered automatically in my today's session as well, right? So requesting the learners to have patience so that. Uh, I can answer them one by one, and and your answers are actually on the way. Thank you. Okay, so this is how it is looks like. Okay, now this is Anaconda Navigator. Now what we are going to do here is that we are going to use Jupyter here, right? I'm going to click on the launch button here, right? So this is the launch button, and I want to show you what Jupyter is. So first of all, we will look at the tools, we'll see the tools, right? And then we will talk about it. So here I've started Jupyter, right? So this web-based application that you are seeing here is called Jupyter. Now, what this Jupyter is? So basically, Jupyter is a coding environment, right? So it is a coding environment which is provided to us for writing Python applications or for writing the Python codes. Now we call it web-based IDE as well, right? So web-based IDE. So what is that web-based IDE? It is like a web-based integrated development environment, right? So IDE is a very common among developers that they use for any application or software that allows them to write codes, debug the codes, compile the codes, execute them, and see the output kind of thing, right? So this is how the Jupyter looks like. Okay, now as you can see that I have lots of node. Okay, so it's a Jupyter notebook basically. So here these are called notebooks basically. So I have lots of notebooks here which I coded earlier. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you exactly how to get started with this Jupyter notebook, right? Or Jupyter web-based IDE. So how do we get started, guys? Simply uh, right. Okay. Click on the new drop down here, right? So this is the new drop down, and we'll click on Python 3, right? Okay. Now I'll take a pause of 5 seconds here to just to remind all the learners. Specifically, I'm talking about the learners who are doing the programming for the first time. If you remember, when I started with the session, I told you that you need to focus on the sequence of execution, right? How we are executing the session, right? How I started, from where we need to download, from where we need, how we need to install, how we'll get the Anaconda Navigator, and how we'll get to this Jupyter, right? So this sequence matters a lot, specifically people who are fresh in this domain. So yes, for the first time it is very difficult, but if you keep on visiting this video once again, or again and again, you will get used to it. Okay, so I'll click on Python 3 here. Okay, now here what we'll do basically, right? So this is a Jupyter notebook. First of all, let's do one thing. Let's name our notebook, right? So I'll click here in this section, right? So if you click on this section, a dialog will appear here and it will ask you uh, for the notebook name, right? So it is like lab 1. Okay, I'll just click on rename. So you can see that the notebook has been renamed and it is lab 1. The extension is IPYNP. Now here, what we'll do basically, we'll write our first program here. And in the first program, as usual, we'll simply print a message here, right? A beautiful message. I am the earth. Okay. So here, this is a simple message that I want to print. I am the earth. And now, before I tell you how to execute the following instructions or following code, I would like to, give you a small lecture on few things, right? On few things. So when we learn any programming language, right? So when we learn any programming language, it is similar to learning a language, right? I would like to bring your attention to two parts of any language, right? Okay. So whether it is Hindi or English, right? Okay. So okay, any language, right? Any language. So if we talk about any language, right? So there are two things that we need to take care of. One is the vocabulary, right? And the second is grammar. Everyone. So I think you all will agree with me that whether we learn Hindi, English, or if we learn uh, Telugu or Odia or Punjabi, whatever. So basically, if you learn any language, there are two things that we need to take care of. One is the vocabulary, and second is the grammar. So similarly, if you're learning any programming language, similarly, it goes with this also. You need to take care of the vocabulary and the grammar, right? Now, when I say print hello, So what is the vocabulary here? Print is a keyword here, right? Print is a function here, right? So it's a case sensitive language. You cannot write this, right? So you cannot write print with a capital P. You cannot write print with a different spelling, right? You cannot write print with all caps. You're not allowed, right? You're not allowed to do that. So you need to follow the vocabulary, the keywords properly. Now, when we talk about the grammar, right? So if it is starting with the curly simple brackets, you cannot start with the curly brackets, right? And apart from that, if I tell you some other mistakes, you cannot use let's say double quotes and single quotes, right? You cannot even skip anything, right? Or you cannot skip any function and it will work. No, it will not work, right? So please, requesting all of you guys, in case you're studying for the first time, uh, you need to come up with a great concentration power, right? Great concentration power, how things are being used here, how things are being typed here, right? Okay. So with that assumption that you have understood the lecture on vocabulary and grammar, so let's proceed further. Okay. So here we are printing a message, print I am the earth, and I'll click on this run button here. So here is the output, guys. Neat and clean, nice and beautiful, right? So this is the reason why I love this ID most, right? Okay, this is the part of the syntax, which okay. So let's do it one more time, guys. Print, and this is Python, right? And I'll just simply click on run button here, and you can see that it is working. Let's do it one more time, right? Final time. Print, use shift plus enter to execute, right? Did you see that, right? Observe, right, how I'm executing. So instead of that run button, if you want to execute this particular section directly, and this is called a cell actually, right? I forgot to mention, right? So this is a cell, right? So you can execute it, right? Like that. uh, Shift enter, and I'll do it one more time here. One more time. Shift enter, right? You can see that, right? How it is executing. Okay. So apart from that, this was the fundamental basically. Can I ask the learners, are we on the track, guys? Is everything going good? Are we able to understand what is happening here? I hope we are not confused. Okay. Okay, great. Now, here, this is a comment, right? It starts with a hashtag, right? So this is a comment, right? Start with a hashtag. We use comments for for descriptive text, right? So if you want to write any descriptive text, we can use the comments here. Okay. So here, let's do a few more things here. Now here I'm talking. Okay. Now Now, the next topic that I'm going to deliver might sound very basic to many people, but I have to do it for the non-tech learners as well, right? So this is very important, right? Okay, can I ask you, right? IPO. What does this stands for, everyone? Yes, ThinkPad. We can use hashtag. What does IPO stands for? Okay, Abhinav. Okay. Initial public offering, I heard this in crowdfunding, I believe. In most cases, in cryptocurrency, I believe. Okay, going good. Okay, Sarfraz. Okay, okay, got it. So basically, I would like to remind you of our childhood days when we used to attend the computer classes. In our childhood, in computer classes, we were told that this IPO is input, process, and output, right? So this is what we were told actually. Now basically I would like to modify or alter this definition to the next level here, and this is the input data, process data, and output data kind of thing, right? So I would like to alter it somewhere, right? So input data, process data, and output data. Now here, once we input the data from the user, once we collect the data from any particular source, we need to store it somewhere, right? We need to store it, right? So this is the hidden part that I want to highlight here, everyone, right? Once we input the data, we need to store it, right? And then we process it, and then we get the output. So for the storage purpose, right? So the objective here is to store the data. For storing the data, we use variables, right? So here I would like to introduce you to something called variables. What are variables? Basically, variables are just, you can say, containers which basically stores the data or hold the data, right, for a while, you can say. So here, okay, so it's like bag. I am full with 100 mangoes. Let's say. So this is an example of a variable, guys, right? So a variable. So what is a variable? Basically, a variable is it's just an, you can think of it as a name here, but it's a container internally, and it basically, what it does, it stores the value, right? I'll just show you. Print bag. So you can see here, right? So this is a container, right? So a variable. Now all the variable are of specific type, right? When I say type, it means data type, right? So for example, let's say generally we have different labels for different containers. So simply the type of this container is, okay, look at this, type bag. Now there is a built-in function called type, which basically tells us what is the type of this very container or this variable. Let me execute this. Everyone, whenever I'm executing the cell, I'm using Shift Enter as the shortcut, right? I would like to remind you, Shift Enter. So here you can see that str. Now what it means that this bag is of string type. Yes, thank you, Vishal Goswami. So this bag is of string type. What is a string? Basically, a string is a set of characters. A string is a set of alphanumeric characters. It can be complete alpha. It can be complete numeric as well, right? Or it can be alphanumeric, right? So a set of characters, you can say it is a string. Yes, by default in Jupyter, if you don't write print, it prints actually, right? So this will be similar to this, right? Although there is a small difference there. Yes, I will definitely give you some more illustrations here. So here, okay, price 1200, discount 7.5, right? Is valid, false. Okay, product, let's say it can be um, okay, Jupyter. Okay, so here I have got four variables here. Price, discount, is valid, and product. And if I show you the type here, print price. So print type of discount. Okay, so we are just spreading the awareness about the type here. Type is valid. Print type product. Okay. So I want you to observe exactly, what types are being displayed for various values here, right? So basically, this value is called integers, right? This is float, this is Boolean value, and this is a string value. Okay. So I hope this should help the learners to understand what types are, right? So basically, types. This is type. Type basically specifies that what kind of value will be stored in a given variable, right? Now, apart from that, yes, Ashish, we do have nested structures actually, because this is a very first session. So I'm not intending to increase any complexity in day one, but definitely after day one, things are challenging. So I will be, moderating even after the session is closed. I will be moderating with the student mentors, and I will be providing them with the practice questions which will be forwarded to you guys so that you can practice, right? So this I will be doing just to make sure that when you come for the next session, you're ready with the basic programming. Okay. Yes, Kamal Shah, that's beautiful, right? So that is the right observation. So basically, you can in other programming languages, how we do it, it's this is how we do it, right? Int price. So in other programming languages, before we declare a variable, we declare the data type. But here in Python, when we declare a variable, we don't specify the type like this, right? So this variable is automatically assigned the type based on the signed value. So this is called dynamically typed language, right? So it's a dynamically typed language, right? Whereas Java is a statically typed language. Similarly, JavaScript is dynamically typed. So to all the learners who are into JavaScript, in fact. Okay. So what we have learned here, uh, yes, Alok Khare, that is true. So what we have learned here, we have learned that how to get started with the environment setup, how to get started with the Jupyter, and uh, no, Abhinav, that will not happen because the variables are not constant type, right? Yes, we can use Srikanta. Okay, thank you, Rudra Swami. Okay. So let's proceed further. And in the next demonstration, I'm going to show you exactly how you can, accept the input from the user dynamically, right? How you can make your programs dynamic. Okay. Now, accepting input from user, right? So what we are aiming here, we are aiming here that how to accept the input from the user, right? Thank you, Kishore, for that. So here I'm going to use the input function here. Hey, buddy, what's your name? Okay. So here I'm using a function called input. It's a built-in function here, and I'm going to execute it, right? So I want you to look at the response given by this function. First of all, you need to observe that whatever message we supply to this function is is okay. So whatever message we supply to this function is displayed, right, to the user, and input function generates a text field here with a cursor which is waiting for us to type any input, right? So it's like Spider-Man, right? So let's call it Spider-Man. So okay, it's done. So it is Spider-Man, let's say. Okay. Yes, the slash n is for new line. Thank you, Siddharth Singh. Right? Okay. Okay. Now, okay, now we have accepted input from user. Now we need to store it somewhere, right? So for that, I'll be using a variable here. Now I want you to look at this uh, observation, right? Hi, name. Okay. Now, everyone, like in this new section of code, right? In this new code snippet, I want you to observe that how we accept the input, right? And you can see that it is waiting for me to type something. Apart from that, whatever I will type here will be stored in the name variable, right? So this name variable will be, storing the data which I'll be typing here, and after that, print will be printing hi and then the name, right? So I'll just show you here. So it's like Jerry. So it says hi Jerry. You can see here, right? So this is how it is working. Apart from that, I want you to observe that this is a comma I'm using here for concatenation. Can you observe that? So to combine a custom message with a variable, I'm using a comma here. I hope you're able to see that. But as of now, I would recommend that do not use this approach, right? Right. Yes. Do not use this approach for combining the variables here. I'll just use the plus here instead. Yes, we can, Sita. Yeah, so I'll just type some other name here. So this time I would like to call it, let's say, Anaconda. So you can see here it says hi Anaconda here, right? So if you compare, the comma was working similarly, and the plus is also working here. So plus is used to concat the values, you can say, right? But there is a condition here. Okay, so the condition is that, so when you're using plus, When you're using plus, the both the operands on the left and right side has to be str and str. That means both the operands has to be string. So if one is int and another is string, the plus won't work, right? So in that case, it is not going to work. So you need to make sure that you know or remember this rule. Okay. Now, yes, it is case sensitive. Okay, let's do some math here, right? Let's do some math, guys, and let's try to yes. Okay, yeah. So fine. So Sridhar, why we should not use comma, I'll tell you. So for example, let's say if there is a function foo, right, and there are two parameters p1 and p2, right, and if I'm passing, let's say, hi, okay, name equals to Jerry, okay, Jerry, and let's say name comma um, Delhi. Okay, Sridhar, observe this, right? Sridhar, if you observe here, you can see that if there is a like this requires some knowledge of functions. So if there is a function called foo and there are two parameters in it, right? And if I try to pass hi Cherry and then Delhi, so I was assuming that P1 will contain hi Cherry and P2 will contain Delhi. But if you look at this comma separation, according to the syntax rules, according to the calling rules, the comma separates, right? The comma separates. Okay, so this is yes, Sandesh, you can say kind of, right? So I forgot who asked me this comma. Um, okay, so guys, I forgot who Honest, what do you want me to repeat? Can you just come again? Okay, about the comma difference. Fine. Okay, look at this, everyone. I'll just okay. Thank you, Kumar. So if I do this right, so like let's say uh argument one, argument two, right? Okay, so there is a function called, let's say, foo, and there are two parameters, argument and argument two. So tactically, this code is just for informational purpose only, and this is not for this is not for any coding reference. Now look at this, right? There's a variable called name with a variable Jerry. Now I want to pass, I want to call foo. I said hi, name, and Jelly. Now if you observe this, right? So if you follow the calling convention, right? Oh, okay, everyone, I'm really sorry to the fundamental learners. This might confuse you, but please have patience for the next 5 minutes, right? So it's something that we'll discuss, you know, in my second class. You will understand this. What we are talking about here. So here, hi goes to arg1, name goes to arg2 actually, and there is no parameter for Delhi. Yeah, Abhinav, that's true. So this hi would map to arg1 and name will map to arg2, and there is no parameter for arg3. So in this case, the calling will fail, right? In this case, the calling will fail, right? This is the reason why we should not use comma. Okay. Now, proceeding further, yeah, okay, yeah, I'm coming to the questions, guys. Okay, after this module, right? So let's do some math here. So what we'll be doing here, basically, we'll ask for two numbers and we'll add them, right? So look at this first of all, right? Um, my number equals to input. Come on, enter a number, right? Okay. Now print my type my number. Okay. Now I want you to observe something here, everyone, right? Okay. Okay, observe something, guys. What is happening here? Yes, that's true. So I want you to observe what is the data type of my number, right? And it says that the data type of my number is a string here, right? So although it contains 500, but this 500 is not treated as integer, right? So this 500 is being treated here as a string. Now, this 500 is a number here, not a number, it's a string actually. What is the problem with this string, right? What is the problem with this string? The problem with this string is that you cannot do the mathematical computations with this variable, right? So if you want to perform mathematical calculations, you cannot do it. Why? Because it is wrapped in a string wrapper, you can call it, right? So this 500 is actually an integer, but it is wrapped in a string container, right? So what we need to do here, we need to convert this data type of my number into into integer, right? Into integer. Now, how we do that, right? For that, we will follow something called type conversion, right? We'll follow a process, something called type conversion, or sometimes we call it, or actually many times we call it typecasting. So Himanshu and Rajamani, this is the default behavior in almost all of the programming languages, right? So whenever we accept input from console, generally the inputs are by default in the form of string only. But it is not the case with every programming language. There are some dedicated functions which directly take input in the specific data type or data format. Okay. Yes, Alokari, we can do that, right? So I'll just show you exactly. Yeah, thank you for that. Okay. So everyone, here I'm using a function called int here, everyone, just observe. So what I've done here, I've placed int here, right? So basically what int does, int, it converts the data type of the given value from default string to integer. So if I execute the cell once again by calling shift enter, so 500. Now I want you to observe here that it shows integer here, right? So here the number is in its original, or you can say genuine form. Now I can do the math. So what is the conclusion here? What is the summary here? So whenever you are accepting any non-string value, right? So I'm repeating once again. Whenever you are accepting any non-string value, please convert it into its its format. It is its expected format, right? So whether it is int or float. So okay, so let's do that. So what happens when we type a character a b c, and okay, this is also a very important part of of learning, that we did not discuss the errors. We must discuss the errors as well, right? So this is how the errors looks like, and this arrow clearly shows that this which line number the error is. Apart from that, it shows the type of exception or type of runtime error, that is value error, and here's the description, right? Okay, so according to that, we can correct the error and 500. So it is done, going good. Okay, admin, you must get just admin, can you please check your Python version? Okay. So Alok Khare, there is basically not in Python, the data types are not much elaborated. The reason is because the basic or primitive data types are actually well sufficient enough to hold the enough numbers. So in Java, such as we have long, the same task is done by integer here. Guys, can you hear me? I think I got disconnected. Everyone? Okay, great. Okay. So I'll just do a small math here, everyone, and we'll see exactly if the learners are able to do it or not, right? Okay, a equals to int input, enter a number, b equals to int, okay, input, enter a number, okay, print, okay, sum of dot format a comma b comma c. Okay, so 10, 20. Okay, no, I don't want you to do in Python, guys. First of all, I want you to observe the following code. Can you observe the following code, guys? Okay, just give me a moment. Okay, okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Alok Hare, first of all, if you talk about uh, the hierarchy that you're talking about, Alok. So because okay, let me clear it. So if you talk about the hierarchy here, so basically we don't have long here actually, right? We don't have double here. So as I mentioned you earlier, so we have in if we talk about the numeric data types, we have int, float, and complex. So you can follow the hierarchy in terms of precision, right? In terms of precision value. So if you want to convert a float value which is there in the string into float, you can do that. If you try to convert from float to integer, you will lose the decimals. If you try to convert integer to float, you will get the decimals with dot zero zero something like that. So that specific hierarchy, Alok, that we are talking about is not here because, like in Java, we have byte, short, int, long, isn't it? And then big integer. So that hierarchy is not here actually. I hope you're getting, Alok. Oh, great. Thank you, Alok. So yes, so here basically this is just a string formatting, guys. So what happens here, there is a function called dot format, right? What it does basically, it replaces the curly brackets according to the given set of arguments correspondingly, right? What dot format function does, it basically replaces come on, it basically replaces the curly brackets in the double quotes according by the variable values correspondingly. So what I'm trying to say here, the first curly bracket will be replaced by A. Similarly, yeah, based on the sequence, Mudhu Krishna, thank you very much. The second curly bracket will be replaced by B, and the third will be replaced by C. Now, what is this? This is smooth string construction, right? I'll call it, this is not a fancy term. It's a fancy term used by me actually. Smooth string construction, right? So instead of doing it, instead of making it complex like sum of str a. So guys, because I cannot use a with integers, so I need to convert uh, integers to string. So this is also full of learning that we can see here how to convert integers into string. So look at this thing, guys. Yes, we do have Subhash, right? Look at this thing, guys, right? So here I have to convert a into string just to make it compatible with the plus. Similarly, I'm converting b into a string and c into a string, and I'm merging all the values using the plus here, right? Every left and right. So you can see that this construction of string is complicated compared to this one. So why not go with the format function, guys? What do you say? right? So this is the easier one, right? You just need to understand that how it follows the sequences, right? So this is how it goes like. Okay, so yeah, so Apurv, it detects automatically. When I say it detects, it means that actually I've mentioned here that I want my numbers to be integers, or I can call it float as well. 12.5, 12.5, and it's 25.0. Yes, Abhinav, it's like string dot format and C sharp. Okay. Yeah. So I remember, I gave almost 5 years of my life into C sharp, and it was beautiful actually. That CLR was always with me. Okay, Abhinav. Great. Great. Yes, we can do that, Alok. Correct. We can do that. It will give error, think man. So let's do one thing, guys. Let's do a small practical here, and let me check, right? Ask a user for a number and print its next and previous. So let's give it a try, guys, right? So this is a very fundamental question, right? And I just want the learners to give it a try. Although, see, guys, although you don't have compiler as of now, you can just try a dry code, right? A dry code, assuming that it will work the way it is expected. Himanshu, it will be float. Okay. Yeah, Shambhu, I will repeat it for you. Uh, what dot format function does, it basically uh, updates your string with the values which you provide here, and these values will be updated according to the curly braces. So this curly braces is a placeholder. We call it a placeholder. So the first curly bracket will be replaced by the first variable. Similarly, the second will be the second variable, and so on. The logic here is that the number of curly braces must match with the number of variables applied here. This is how it works. Uh, um, I forgot the name. Sorry. Got it. Okay. Going good. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Going good. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Venkatesh, 1 - 1. Okay. I hope. The non-tech learners are responding me, right? I hope, because that's where I will win. Great, great, Karan. And that is a wide open mouth. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Going good. Going good. I think most of the learners are doing it right. So I'll just finish it quickly, right? So it's like num equals to int, and I'll just call it input, enter any number, and print next. So I'll just call it num plus one. Print previous. I'll just call it num minus one. 5. So here it is, right? Done. Okay. Yes. Look at this. Okay. Come on. See, guys, plus plus doesn't work, everyone. So I think one Ashish, you asked me this, right? So in Python, plus plus doesn't work. Minus minus unity operators, if you call it, right? Specifically, the unity operators doesn't work here. So guys, just follow the sequence, right? How it is working. Now, I would like to bring your attention to the decision making here, right? So this is the final topic of today's session. So decision making, right? So this is important for all of us to understand, right? How this decision making works here. And for that, I'm going to, oh, Ashish, I'm really happy that we have such a gem here who has worked on 14 years on Java. Right? So that's beautiful, right? Okay. Okay. So grade, right? So it is like 4. Okay. Okay. If grade equals to 1, print. Okay. Observe this, right? So guys, this is a question here in which there is a variable called grade, and if the value of grade is 1, we'll print first rank, first division. If the value of grade is 2, we'll print second division. If the value of grade is 3, we'll print third division. Similarly, if there is if there is a value which is other than 1, 2, 3, we'll print no division. So here we're learning how to take the decisions here. So for taking the decisions, I'm using the if keyword here. So if grade equals to 1, so it means that if the value of your grade is 1, what we'll do here, we'll place a colon here, right? So this is a part of syntax, everyone, right? So this is a part of syntax. So I want you to observe that when I hit the enter, it automatically takes the indent. Did you see that? Right? So it automatically takes the indent, right? So we need to observe this one. Let's do it one more time. Colon and hit enter, right? So that's how it works, right? So it automatically takes the intent, right? So you're not supposed to give the intent like this, right? Do not do this, right? Or do not press the tab, actually, like you can press tab, uh, like if you go with the automatic process, so it'll see, can you see the indent, right? So it is automatically taking the indent, right? Okay. Now here I'll print first division. Okay. Now everyone, listen to me carefully. Now I'm going to press the backspace, right? I'm going to press the backspace so that I come out of if section or if block. Backspace, right? Did you see that? I pressed backspace, right? So why I pressed backspace? So that I come out of the if block, right? So that I come out of this if section. So okay, elif grade equals to 2, print second division. Did you see that? For a new condition, I'm using a keyword called elif, right? So in other programming languages, we used to use else if, but here in Python, we have elif, right? Thank you, Vishal Goswami, for responding. Okay. Now, similarly, I'll press backspace to go back. Elif. Elif grade equals to 3, print third division. Else print no division. So guys, the objective here, okay, the objective here, okay, Alok Khare, I'm going to give you a universal formula that will answer all your questions. Just give me a moment, right? Okay. So first of all, guys, I would like to bring your attention to C, right? Okay, look at this. It says no division. If I press 2, it says second division. If I press 3, it says first division. If it is 5, it says no division. So guys, first of all, okay, so here it is a static input, means I've given it manually. So from now onwards, I'm assuming that you can take the input from user dynamically, right? You can take the input from user dynamically, right? So for your easier understanding, I am not accepting the input from user, right? For your easier understanding, right? So this is just a training strategy that I'm following here. Now I want you to observe that how the decisions are taken in Python, right? So if the grade is 1, do this. If the grade is 2, do this. If the grade is 3, do this. Else or otherwise do this, right? So it's like this. Yeah, thank you, Abhinav, for that beautiful code snippet. Right, that's how it will be done. Okay, so this is how we take the decisions for for various challenges, and that's how we do it in Python. Okay. Okay, fine. So this was the basic thing that we did here. Bishal Goswami, that is the part of syntax. So basically, what it means, like I'll tell you, right? Bag equals to 100. It means that we are we are pushing the value 100 inside bag. This is what it means, right? So it means like, okay. And also, Bishal, when we read the code, we read the code from right to left, right? Right to left. We don't read the code from left to right. I'm talking about the equals to expressions. So this expression basically means that the 100 is going inside bag, and this is a condition, right? This is a question mark actually. This is a question mark. This means that we are checking whether the value of the bag, whatever the value is inside this container, matches with this value. So this is a condition, right? I hope this helps you. Great, Vishal. Thank you for the acknowledgement. Okay. Now, I'm going to take the Q&A section. It's 9:30 now. I'm going to take the Q&A section, guys. Uh, okay. So I'm going to answer them one by one. In case if I'm not able to answer all your questions, guys, I request all of the learners here to drop a mail to the student mentors so that I can answer in the offline way, right? So that all your questions are are answered, right? So with that, I'm going to start with the Q&A here. So here I'm using the question and answer window here, everyone, because I'm not using the chat window because the strength of the session is very high. So when I use the chat window, basically the scrolling basically you can say distracts me from reading the question, right? So that's why I'm using the Q&A window, guys, or the question and answer dialogue. Okay. Saurabh Somavanshi, as I have already explained, we need this anaconda distribution for the working. And everyone, the recordings will be available with all of you guys. You can watch them later. Yes, Vedansh, you can. I hope you are here. Sabish, I hope you're understood as of now, as you asked me the question. Uh, Purnima, like some of the questions, some of the learners ask that it is going to be the same as preparatory content. I think the preparatory content and this is kind of similar, right? And you need to cross check. Okay, thank you, Vinay. Okay, Vaibhav, yes, this I would like to, Vaibhav, you asked me a question about the brief layout of the lecture series. I would like to forward this to the student mentor so that he can, share the agenda of each session to you. Okay. Ishan, okay, Ishan asked me a question that whether Python is interpreter or compiled or how both. So it depends on how you're executing the codes, right? So you can compile your codes into .pyc files, right? Uh, or you can directly execute it, right? So it's up to us. So both the methods are available with us, right? You just need to learn the methods, and it's your choice how you want to proceed with. Ishan, Weber asked me, is Python multi-threaded and does it support oops? So the answer is Python is not truly multi-threaded. Or I'll take it to the next level called multi-core, right? So Python is not truly multi-core based thing, but Yes, the threading libraries are there in Python. We can create threads, we can create multi-threaded applications. So yes, those are there. But I think as of now, if I remember, uh, uh, for for the proper multi-core usage of the CPU, we need to import any extended library, right? We don't have this native support in Python as of now. And yes, the above, the Python supports object-oriented programming language, or OOP. I'm sorry. Okay. Saikat, you asked me that how Python is different from R. So, Saikat, R I have done as an intro basis only once in my assignment, in one of my assignments that I did for one of my clients. But I observed that R is more of a statistical language, right? Or a specific domain, you can say. It's for a specific domain only, where you can do mostly the you can say statistical calculations, or you can do the graph plotting and everything, but you cannot use it for various other platforms. For example, let's say Python can be used for gaming development, it can be used for graphic development or website development, but R is not that kind of thing, or R doesn't serve that purpose. Okay, I hope that answers your question, Cycle. Okay, so yes, okay. I just okay. Everyone, I request all of you guys. Basically, if you can ask me the questions in the Q&A window, that will help me, right? Because in the chat window, the text is getting scrolled every time, right? Sumit, I think as of now, I would suggest that just follow the upgrade preparatory content and the live sessions. These are ample enough, to get started with the Python. Shambhu, interpreted and interactive, right? So, Shambhu, when we say interpreted, right, it means that the source code directly gets converted into the machine code and you get the output. Whereas interactive means the Anaconda shell, right? This one, right? So this is called interactive, where I can interact with the Python engine, right? So it's like this. So this is called interactivity, right? So this is what Shambhu. Okay. Vishal, you asked me, right? So you asked me about the square bracket star. That is basically the Jupyter way of telling you whether the cell has executed or how many times it have executed and things like that. Okay. Arvind K, you asked me how to change the work folder in Jupyter. For that, you need to create a Jupyter config file, right? So that config file, in that config file, you mention the path basically. So sorry, for your additional support, I'll just tell you that this is C drive users, and your username is the default directory, which is configured by default. This was asked to me by many learners also. That what is the default location of your Jupyter? So the default location of your Jupyter is C drive user, and come on, this uh, username, right? Okay. Apart from that, Alok Khare, if I remember right, you also asked me a few things here. So I would like to, tell everyone a unique formula here. Everyone, I just want you to observe this thing, right? Look at this. If you type help here, right? So this will give you a good understanding of exactly how it is done. So just type help and parentheses. You will see a help utility of Python, guys, right? So basically, if you're interested in any of the modules that you want to read about, so you can see here to get a list of available modules. You can type the keywords, symbols, or topics, right? So what I'll do, I'll just type keywords here. Right? So suppose I've just taken the keywords here. So this is I've typed. Now after I've done that, you can see that I've got some list of keywords here that I can read about. So somebody asked me, let's say Okay, so I'll just take which one? I'll take the while one, right? So let's say what this while is. So here this is the help about the while. So while is a statement, and so on. You can go through the content here, everyone, right? So this is from my side uh, to help you with how you can get the information about various topics available, right? Okay. Vedansh saying it will give you the error. Okay. Okay, so Neha, module and library both are same thing basically, right? So basically, it is like the domain specific library, or sometimes we can call it API as well. So a module basically serves a specific purpose. For example, it's a NumPy. NumPy is basically it's a module for numeric calculations, right? So apart from that, if you go with, let's say, scikit-learn or sklearn, right? So sklearn is a module which we use for machine learning thing, right? So that is basically a module or a library. Both are same thing. So when we talk about the package, basically package in Python represents a directory which contains files, right? So package is nothing. It's a directory which contains files. So it can be the built-in files. It can be your files as well. So it is a way of organizing the codes. Okay, Alok, going through yours. Keyword. Does Python also have? Yes, Alok. Python also have default keywords. Yes. Okay, but Alok, in Python we don't have static keyword in Python, right? So what basically means here, Alok, I'll just elaborate it to you. So we do have default, but we don't have static here. So let's say if we have any class here, and if we have any variable, so any variable defined within the class block is automatically a static variable, right? So this is how the static variables are identified. Any variable which is inside the uh, class reference, right? So this is something where this is where we don't mark a variable as static. So if we are accessing the variable via class, so that is static. And if we are accessing a variable via instance, that is an instance variable, alok. So that's how we differentiate actually, right? And that's how it works, alok. So you can say that yes, it is kind of compromised compared to Java. Java is more clear at this part, but this is how Python behaves, alok khare. Okay, so okay, sure, sure. Okay. So Ruchir, as I explained, you're supposed to configure the Jupyter path for changing the file path. Ashwi, that should work actually. Ashwi, in your case, your Jupyter is not working. So in that should not happen actually. But in case if it is happening, I would like to suggest you this kernel restart, right? Okay, just give me a moment. Mr. Ashwi, you can simply click on the kernel and go to the restart for restarting your Jupyter environment. And that should help you with that. In case if it doesn't help, please consider restarting Jupyter once again. Yeah, I've been coming to that. Actually, I'm following a sequence of questions here. As of now, I have a lot of questions here in the queue. Harnoor Singh, I have already explained, right? No worries, Abhinav. Thank you for acknowledging. Uh, Yeah. So, yeah, coming Rabia, I think. Uh, okay. So going through the Q&A part, guys, I'm following the Q&A window here. Difference between compiled code and interpreted code. Harnoor, as I explained earlier, I'm repeating myself once again. compile code is a Python code which is converted into an intermediate code, right? Which we call it bytecode. So compile code is something which is not exactly machine code, but it's an intermediate code, right? And that format is called bytecode in Python, right? And interpreted code or interpretation, actually, right? It's not called interpreted code, it's called interpretation, right? So interpretation is something where when the code is not getting converted into intermediate code, but directly getting into machine code, getting converted into machine code and producing the output kind of thing. Hanu. Okay, Abhinav. Abhinav, you asked me that in Python, is it like one dot by file for one task? I think that's not the case. So Abhinav, that depends, right? What's your perspective or perception? So let's say in .java is not for one activity, or .c or .cpp or .cs is not for one activity. You can do n number of activities depending on how you want to distribute the task, right? So you can do n number of things in one .py file. Or for that, Abhinav, let's learn OOP in the next session. You will learn how to, or you can say separate the task. Ashni Damaria, once again, I'm repeating. I request the learners to please, uh, you can say, that is something that requires extra, or you can say, time consumption, as I'm running low on time. So again, I'm repeating myself that please learn how to configure the Jupyter configuration file to change the file path or the working folder. Hi, Rajiv Keponde. Okay, Sajeev, this code will be saved in C drive, user, and the directory with your username by default. Sajeev. Amar Kumar, you have a very good question. You say that you have some basic knowledge of Python, and how do I practice data science related Python question? So I remember a very good visual that I saw in one of the social media, that when we want to learn something, we must you can say step one by one, right? So when you want to work on data science, I suggest that first of all we must be very clear about what are the prerequisites of data science, right? So data science is a broad spectrum, right? So for that, when you say that you have basic knowledge of Python, I suggest that have you worked on the set list dictionaries, right? Apart from that, have you worked on basic programming or the logical questions first of all? And then have you worked on the NumPy? Have you worked on pandas, right? So if you worked on NumPy and pandas, then only you can proceed further with the data science or ML related activities. So basic standard Python, then NumPy, and then pandas, and then scikit-learn, TensorFlow, and Keras and everything that comes in as a sequence. Amar Kumar, right? So make sure your prerequisites are very much clear. Yes, Shinky, we do have content assist available in Jupyter. So I'm going to show you a small demonstration. Shinky, so I'll just type print and shift. Okay, come on. Okay, okay. Just give me a moment, guys. Did I miss something? Okay, Shinky, just give me a moment, right? Just give me a moment, guys. Okay. Just give me a moment. Yes, just give me a moment. Print. Okay, so here it is. So you can see that I'm able to display you or show you this docstring thing. So you can see that there is a tooltip kind of thing here. So it shows exactly what this print thing does. So how I do it, so basically after I type print, so I type shift plus tab, right? So if you if you press shift plus tab after writing any keyword or any function, it will show you the assisting content or the documentation which is associated with that particular function or keyword. I hope this helps you, Shanky. Yeah, Abhinav, kind of intelligence. Abhinav, are you from Visual Studio? Okay, okay. So, Rakesh, uh, okay, okay. So, first of all, yeah, going through everyone. Rakesh Kumar, how important is it to memorize the Python syntax? I think this is a very important question, and it is very important actually, right, Rakesh? It is very important to memorize the Python syntax because not exactly. Okay, I'm not suggesting you to memorize exactly. I am suggesting, Rakesh, that you must practice it, regularly, and you will automatically memorize it actually, right? So we don't memorize it like a school homework, right? We don't do that. But when we practice, it is automatically comes into your mind, right? So we don't do that, and it is very important, right, to to practice, right, or to regularly practice. Subhash, Padman, Dhoni, I'm going to share many format specifiers in my upcoming session. Rajiv K. Pandit, your question is like, am I going to cover the same content as in preparatory content? I think I need to check what is there in preparatory content, guys. Basically, the content team takes care of that part, and me as the instructor, I take care of the live sessions. So I will definitely coordinate with the content team to cross check. Thank you, Rajiv K. Pandit. And I'll try to add more value into the live sessions in that case. Sumit, as such, as of now, I think there is no specific sources that you can go to, to learn the Python. But I would suggest that in case if you can refer to any book, right? So that would be beneficial or one-stop destination for learning the Python instead of roaming around. Vedansh, no. Your question is that is every line in the code is always read from right to left. So the answer is no, right? So basically, it happens in case when where mostly where there are equals to expressions, right? So equals to is something that I would suggest here. Okay. Neelam Pawar, okay, as per your question about the idea of error shown in Jupyter, I think the Stack Overflow is the universal helper as of now, right? So that is the one-stop destination, I believe. Stack Overflow helps a lot, right? Okay. So, Alok Khare, you asked me about why Python is both interpreted and compiled. So the answer is that uh, see, Ashish, okay, thank you. Okay, Ashish is replying to Alok here. Alok, Python has its own JVM, first of all, and the Python source codes are actually converted into bytecode. So the same philosophy goes here, actually, right? So, but here the versatility is that Python can be executed directly like a script, right? As we execute the JavaScript, right? And we can actually, we can compile a Python source codes as well as .pyc files. And so if you want the security, right, one of the important one of the important purpose of compiling is the performance and the security, right? So because the compile codes are already pre-checked for the syntaxes, for the memory allocation, for their safety, for any breach, right? So they are pre-checked, so they are more faster compared to interpreted codes. Okay, so Sita, I think if you're asking me for the book recommendation, I would suggest a book called Head First. So Head First in Python is a book which is very good if you want to learn Python. And the reason I would like to mention here why I'm supporting the Head First book is because they follow the visual strategy to explain things, right? So they have lots of diagrams, lots of people thinking and talking, and discussing the reasons. So this is the kind of visual, or you can say the comics based approach, right? So this is that they follow uh, to explain the concepts. Okay. Okay, so okay, got it. So when you talk, okay, the book is the Head First Python. Thank you, Gina Mandit. Okay, so guys, yes, uh, yeah, when we talk about the performance thing, right? So this performance thing is basically it's a battle actually, right? Which goes between Python and Java. And I would like, there are many websites which say that the Java is better than Python, or Java is faster than Python. I'm sorry. Whereas some people also say that Python is faster than Java. But what I see is, in most cases, I will what I've seen is that slightly I've seen the the difference in Java performance, which is slightly faster than Python. This is I have seen personally, but with the basic uh, you can say module in inclusion such as NumPy, you can enhance your application performance by a great number. Vishal Goswami, that depends on the curriculum basically, right? So uh, I've not seen the DS curriculum as of now. Uh, it's very vast actually. It has been updated. Like I saw the last one, but now it has been updated to the newer one for it's like a version 2 kind of thing. So I need to cross check it. All right. So I think I'm still open with many questions. So there are many questions which are still open. I would like to request all of the learners to please drop all the questions to me, because I think I would request the learners to allow me to send the responses offline via mail, because I think within the given time limits it won't be easy for me to answer all the questions as of now. Even if I try to answer next 10, 20, or 30 or 40 questions, it won't finish on time. So over to you, Joey. Can you help me with this? Can you forward me all the questions to my mail?
Sure, Rajan, I'll do that. So I'll roll out a form, guys, to you all tomorrow, so that yeah, you'll send the questions to me. I will share a form to your registered email address. Put in the question in that form and send it across to me so that I can forward it to Rajan.
Yeah.
All right, so guys, I'll be rolling out a. So Rajan, are you done, or you
Yeah,
have
I'm
to?
done. Actually, I try my best to cover as much as possible, but the given time limits doesn't allow me to proceed further, because there are near to 100 questions which are still open, and I think it won't be possible for me to answer in all the questions in next 1 or 2 hours even.
Yeah, so we have like 97 questions, guys. So we have to actually stop it here because it won't get over even for the next two session. I mean 2 hours. So I'll roll out an email to you all guys tomorrow so that you all can forward me the questions and I'll forward it to Rajan.
Yeah, that will surely work.
So I'm rolling out a form right now, a poll. Please do put in your feedback, guys. This is very important in terms of where understand where we need to improve on. So I'm launching a poll. Please do put in your feedback.
All right. Thank you, Joey.
Thank you, Rajan. It was nice talking to you and great session as usual. So, guys, we have the next session on 19th. This will be at 8 p.m. same time. That is on Thursday. Please do attend that session as that will cover the next topics that we have for that session schedule.
Sure.
Thank you, Rajan. You can log off. Thank you so much for your time and assistance on this session.
Yeah, thank you very much, everyone. I hope the session was worth attending, and I hope this will help you, in creating the strong foundation in Python, guys. I wish you all the best uh, for your upcoming bright future and career, guys. And I'm assuming that in my next session you will come with lots of practices, and that is actually required, guys, because in the next session this will be the assumption that you know how to do the basic programming in Python, guys. Thank you very much, guys. Good night, everyone.
Thank you, Rajan. Good night. Okay, so guys, I'll be sharing the recording post the session right now. Please do put in your poll. It's very important that we know exactly the feedback so that we can improvise on our next sessions. All right, guys, thank you so much for your time. I'll share the recording and have a good night. Bye.